Good morning. This is Samiullah Khan, Senior Grade Lecturer, Department of Commercial Practice, Government Giridhar Ram Narayan Institute of Commercial Practice, Bangalore. Dear student, in this session, we will discuss the qualification of the company secretary, the qualities of company secretary. This session is conducting with an object to acquire the knowledge of company law and secretarial practice, and to acquire the knowledge and understand the qualification and qualities of company secretary. Comes to the first concept, the qualification of company secretary. The qualification of company secretary is classified into two groups. The first one is statutory qualification. The second one is other or non-statutory qualification. Comes to the first qualification, that is statutory qualification. Statutory qualification refers to those qualifications which is according to the requisites of any law, nothing but according to the requirement of any law, whatever may the qualification is specified, that qualification is called as statutory qualification. Other qualification or non-statutory qualification refers to those qualification which is not specified in any statute, any law or any act, that is called as non-statutory or other qualification. Comes to the first one, statutory qualification. As such, we have discussed earlier, statutory qualification means those qualifications which is specified in a law, specified in any act, specified in or mentioned in any act is called as a statutory qualification. As per the company's appointment and qualification of secretary amendment rules 1993, the qualification of a secretary must be possessed in order to be eligible for the appointment of company secretary are as follows. Every company with a paid up capital of not less than 2 crores shall have a whole-time secretary, and he shall be appointed as a whole-time secretary only if he is a member of Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Yes, according to this amendment rules 1993, it is clearly mentioned that every company, whether the company is a public or a private company, if the capital of the company is, now it is up to rupees 2 lakh or not less than rupees 2 lakh, then it should have a whole-time secretary. The secretary may be out of the two types. One is a part-time secretary, another one is a whole-time secretary. A part-time secretary is a secretary who can manage the secretary job in more than 2 or more companies. That is called as a part-time secretary. A whole-time secretary is a secretary who is working regularly whole time in that particular company. Now that secretary is called as a whole-time secretary. Therefore, the company which has paid up capital of rupees 2 lakhs should have a full-time or whole-time secretary with a requisite qualification as a member of Institute of Company Secretaryship of India. In case the same act, the same amendment rules 1993 says that in case the companies with a paid up capital of not less than rupees 2 lakh, any individual possessing the following qualification shall be appointed as whole-time secretary to perform the company secretary duties. The following are the statutory qualification mentioned in the amendment rules 1993. Now the first one, the membership of Institute of Company Secretary of India. Secondly, pass and the intermediate examination conducted by the Institute of Company Secretary in India. In the short form, it is called as ICSI. Now there are the two examinations. One is the intermediate, another one is a final examination. If a person just pass, he pass or she pass the intermediate examination, then also now the person is eligible to become a company secretary. The next one, postgraduate degree in commerce or corporate secretaryship awarded by any university in India. That is the next statutory qualification. Next one, degree in law awarded by any university. The next one, the membership of the Association of Secretaries and Managers of Calcutta. The next one, the postgraduate degree or diploma in management science granted by any university. The next, the postgraduate degree or diploma granted by Indian Institute of postgraduate degree or diploma granted by Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore or Kolkata, Lucknow, Ahmedabad. In any these cities, now if the person is pass from the Indian Institute of Management IIM, then the person will be eligible to become a company secretary. The next one, diploma in corporate laws and management granted by Indian Law Institute, New Delhi. The next, the membership of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. Now, if the person possesses any one of these listed qualification, then that person will be act as a company secretary. This is the statutory qualification. This qualification is specified in Companies Act of 1956. Therefore, this qualification is called as the statutory qualification. The first part of the qualification we have completed, that is a statutory qualification. Then comes the second part, that is non-statutory or other qualification. The non-statutory or other qualification means those qualification which is not specified in Companies Act or any other act, that are all comes under the non-statutory or other qualification. Comes to the non-statutory or other qualification. In addition to the statutory qualification, a company secretary should possess certain other qualification. Now the other qualifications are, the first one, sound general education. Sound general education helps the secretary in grasping the subject without much of the time and efforts. Because the secretary has to hold the most important job, administrative job in a company, the company secretary should have a sound general education. Command over the language is the next qualification. Command over the language, the secretary should hold the important administrative position in the company. As a part of secretary work consists of correspondence, the preparation of reports, conducting of the meeting, recording of the minutes of the meeting, etc. It is necessary that the secretary should have a command over the language. The next, knowledge of the industry. The secretary should have a thorough knowledge of the industry of or the business in which he is working. He should know the background of the company. That is, now when the company is established, who are the promoters of the company, now who are the when the company is started, all the background of the company should be known by the company secretary. Now the next one, general knowledge. The general knowledge helps the secretary in guiding the chairman, the board of directors, the managers and other managing directors, managers, etc. in performing the duties of a company secretary. Therefore, the general knowledge is also essential. Next, knowledge of various acts relating to staff. Now, the company secretary is a connecting officer between the company and the staff, between the board of directors and the staff. Therefore, the company secretary should know how to handle the staff. He should know the various laws which are relating to the staff. For an example, it may be a Workman Compensation Act, Minimum Payment of Wages Act, Bonus Act, Industrial Disputes Act, etc. Therefore, the company secretary should have the knowledge of the staff. Not only the laws relating to the staff, but he know the techniques and tactics to handle the staff. The next one, the knowledge of company law. Company secretary, no doubt, he is handling the company affairs, the matters relating to the company. Therefore, the company secretary should have a complete knowledge of Companies Act, the provisions of the Companies Act, which are essentially required for the day-to-day function of the company. The next one, knowledge of mercantile law. The company secretary is working in a company. Therefore, he should have a knowledge of all the contracts, laws relating to the contracts, agreements, negotiable instruments, Sale of Goods Act, Insurance Act, etc., which is necessary for discharging of his duties. The next one, the knowledge of accounting and taxation. A company secretary should have a complete knowledge of accounting and taxation, because he has to file the tax returns every year, quarterly or periodically, as per the Income Tax Act of 1961. Therefore, he should have a complete knowledge of the taxations. Now, he has to file, apart from the income tax, he has to file the GST returns also periodically. Therefore, he has a knowledge of the GST Act, and he has also the knowledge of the accounting, the how to record the accounting, what are the rules of the double entry system of the bookkeeping. All those things the company secretary should have a knowledge. Now, these are all the various qualification of the company secretary. The qualification of company secretary is classified into two types. The first one is now statutory qualification, those qualification which are specified in Companies Act, and other qualifications. Now these are all the two types of the qualification of the company secretary. I hope you understand the concept of qualification of company secretary. The next concept is the qualities of a company secretary. Now the following are the qualities of a company secretary. Now the first one, sound general education. A company secretary should have a knowledge of fundamentals, principles of economics, commerce, current development in the business world, industrial matters, and others. Therefore, he should have a sound general education so that now the company secretary should guide the board of directors. The next one, command over language. As a large part of the secretary work consists of correspondence work, the preparation of the reports, precise writing, it is necessary that the company secretary should have a command over the language. Especially, he should have a command over the local language. For example, in Karnataka, he should have a command over the Kannada language, so that he should follow the duties, perform the duties efficiently and effectively. He should know the business terms and expressions situated to his work. If the company is foreign collaborated company, that means if the company is now working with the foreign countries also, he should have a certain basic knowledge of the foreign language also. The next one is a knowledge of the various fields. That is the knowledge of the industry, the knowledge of the company law, the knowledge of the mercantile law, the knowledge of the accounting, taxation, banking, finance, office organizations, office procedures, bookkeeping, now the various acts relating to the staff. Now these are all the various knowledges which a secretary has to be possess. The next one, now the impressive personality. A secretary should have a impressive personality. A company secretary, to be a successful executive, must have a good personality such as a charming manner, organizing ability, imaginations, initiative, strong common sense, efficiency, intelligence, alertness, self-discipline, foresight, courtesy, high moral characters. Now these are all the various impressive personality qualities that should be possessed by a company secretary. Then comes to the next one, other qualities. Other qualities of a company secretary consist of sound practical experience. He should have a sound practical experience so that he can perform his duties successfully. Sound judgment. He should have a judgment capacity. At the time of disputes, at the time of handling of the staff, he should have a sound judgment capacity. He should have a habit of accuracy. He should have a good habit of accuracy. He should remember all the facts, figures, and persons who are with whom he is handling. Now it is the next one is the breadth of vision. Now he should have a good vision, good willpower. Now firmness, good communication ability. Now the next one, he should have a good tolerance and adaptability. He should have a originality. He should have an imagination. He should have a self-control. Now he does not lose his temper. He should have a self-control capacity. The next, he should have a dynamic character. he has to play a dynamic role. Now, therefore, he should have a dynamic character. Yes, these all are the certain qualities of the company secretary. I hope you understand the various qualities of the company secretary. Now comes to the next one. It is the now the various multiple choice questions on this session. The first one: a capital of a company decides the company secretary's qualification. The option A is agree, option B is disagree. What is the answer, my dear student? S, the option A, agree. That is, based on the capital of the company, the qualification is decided. If the paid up capital is 2 crores, then the statutory qualifications are applicable. The next one: whether this statement is true or false, to become a whole-time secretary of the company with a paid up capital is not less than 2 crores, he must be a member of the Institute of Company Secretary of India. The option A is true, the option B is false. What is the answer, my dear student? Yes, it is true. Next one: whether this statement is true or false. Every company with a paid up capital of not less than the 2 crores shall have a part-time secretary. Whether this statement is true or false. Every company with a paid up capital of not less than rupees 2 crores shall have a part-time secretary. Every company with a paid up capital of not less than rupees 2 crores shall have a part-time secretary. The option A is true, option B is false. What is the answer, dear student? Yes, it is false. Because if the paid up capital is not up to rupees 2 crores or more than rupees 2 crores, then he should be have a full-time secretary. The next one: now to become a whole-time secretary of the company with a paid up capital of less than rupees 2 crores, now individual must possess the qualification of membership of Institute of Company Secretaryship of India, option A. Option B, pass in intermediate examination conducted by ICSI, that is the Institute of Company Secretaryship of India. Option C, postgraduate degree in commerce. Option D, all of the above. Yes, what is the answer, students? Yes, it is the option D, all of these above. The next one: the diploma in corporate laws and management granted by Indian Law Institute, New Delhi, can become a secretary of a company. By possessing this qualification, a person can become a company secretary of a company. The option A is agree, the option B is disagree. Yes, the answer is option A, agree. The next one: to become a secretary of a company which is not a qualification of a company secretary. The first one: a degree in law awarded by any university. Membership of Association of Secretaries and Managers, Calcutta. Diploma in computer science awarded by Technical Board. Membership of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. Now the answer is C. Diploma in Computer Science. Now this qualification is not required, is not essential to be act as a company secretary. Whereas a degree of law, membership of Association of Secretaries, membership of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, all this qualification is required, is essential qualification of a company secretary. Next one, company secretary should have a sound knowledge of option A, company law, option B, tax law, option C, labor law, option D, all of these above. Now the answer for this is S, option D, all of these. Then comes to the next question. Company secretary should possess command over language, knowledge of the industry, option C, A and B both, option D, none of the above. Now the answer is C, A and B. Both command over the language and command over the knowledge of the industry is required. Then comes the next one. Company secretary should possess the knowledge of mercantile law, accounting and taxation. The option A is agree, option B is disagree. The answer is agree. That is the A. Now next question. A company secretary must possess good personality, man of integrity, strong commitment. Last option, all of these. What is the answer, dear students? Yes, that is all of this. The next, a company secretary must not possess sense of responsibility, high temperament, true appreciation of service, none of the above. Now the option B is a right answer. There is a high temper. Now the secretary should not hold the high temper. It will affect the smooth functioning of his job, his duties. Yes, these all are the some of the multiple choice questions are there relating to this session. Yes, after this session, now the session outcomes, maybe the students will come to know that what are the qualification and qualities required for a company secretary, to analyze and apply the provisions of company law regarding the meaning, definition of the company secretary, qualification of the company secretary and qualities of the company secretary. Yes, that's all, my dear students. I hope you can understand the concept.